Hello and welcome to the first in what is going to be the on-off occasional mini-series. My name is Jay-Z, I'm here with EK. And today we're going to start our mini-series off with a bit of a top 5. So I know we gave you some top 10s on our first episode, and there was some interesting ones.
That was also quite long.
Yeah, and we're sorry about that. We're going to reduce that. So without further ado, today's top 5 is going to be with one honourable mention, and it is our top 5 heels of all time. So I think I'm going to kick things off. I'm going to kick it off with the honourable mention, and I don't think many people are going to see this coming, really. But for me, it's Vicky G.
Oh my god!
I know, and this is.
Excuse me, that is a terrible choice. I mean, it's a good choice because she was annoying. But are we saying that heels are annoying, or are we saying they're like assholes kind of thing?
Name someone that drew as much hate as Vicky Guerrero when she had things like Teddy wheeling her around, getting in people's faces, shouting, "Excuse me!" And really pissing people off.
Power was quite up there.
I really think she was hated, and to be honest,
I mean, she was hated. I'll give you that. She was also very annoying.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, whether it was hiding behind the Big Show, whether it was everything she did with Edge, pretending to be in the relationship, that drew the heat from The Rock and The Rock song about her in the ring.
What a banger, by the way. I still sing that today.
Unreal. I think, what a woman. And also, like, this is the last thing I'll say on her before I kind of pass it over to you for your honourable mention. Not giving up after Eddie's death, and the way that she just continued and she ploughed on in his memory and she drew that heat and she took a character and she ran with it. Like, I just think she's so criminally underrated, both as a heel and what she did in the company at what was a bit of a net time at the time.
Yeah.
And I think people would, as much as they hated her, like, I certainly would genuinely look forward to whatever stupid crap she was going to pull on the next episode of SmackDown. So
I guess the best thing about her is that she could probably still do the same shtick now and it would be absolutely exactly the same. Would not need to change anything about her, really.
Exactly. So with that said,
fair enough. You know what? You convinced me. I'll give you. You know what? Fair play. Respect that. My honorary mention is OG The Rock. I'm talking Nation of Domination. When he was later on against Stone Cold, and even further later on down the line, Hollywood Rock when he came back against Hogan. I'm not a massive fan of current Rock in terms of the
Hollywood Rock.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of bringing that type of thing back, but I think very much early on in his career, very, very good. Pretty much what made me hate him quite easily, just because he just would run his mouth so well and just take the piss out of everyone. It was just very, very good. That's my opinion on that.
Fair. I think he's just, he's just a versatile character, isn't he? He's probably the best talker of all time on the mic. So yeah, I'll give you that. Speaking of people who talk really well on the mic, my number 5, I think, not to go all Ruben here.
Oh no, where are the others? But we should probably explain why we're doing this, right? I mean,
so they bailed on us, but it's fine. They'll be back soon.
Yeah, we're the guys that want to make sure that you actually have content. You know, we're the ones that will say, you know what, the others aren't here. We'll just somehow crack on with the miniseries because the people need it.
Not only
you wise people. Yes, I'm coining that right now. You are, however many listeners are known as the wise people.
I respect it, and the best thing about Ruben not being here is you won't get answers like Fandango.
Well, we might be about to see one, so you
do you know what? Know. I think this idea is this number 5 is sensible, but I do think it is with some controversy.
Okay.
I've got Stephanie Mac.
Really?
Stephanie McMahon.
Wow.
And do you know what? I have
to
take the family's legal troubles out of it. I have
only legal, yeah,
and then some. I have a lot of respect for Stephanie McMahon. You know, she obviously was never going to be the best wrestler of all time, and she didn't really wrestle too much. But multiple time women's champ, which is hysterical. But also, like, she always took the brunt of everything and ran with it, whether it was Cena calling her a very derogatory term, whether it was Hunter always making indirect jokes in 2006 when sort of DX reunited and were going against Vince. She just played the part well. And I know the authority wasn't great. Fine, we can take that out of it. But, even the night that Shane O'Mac came back, and the way that she was getting ready to accept the award from Vince, I just think she did a stellar job of being a heel. So number 5 for me, I think credit where it's due, Stephanie Mac.
I'll give you credit on that one. That's not a Rube's pick. That's okay. I think we should probably tell everyone we have not looked at each other's list before this. We don't know what the other one is going to say, where they're going to come up, who they're going to come up with. So this is all completely organic. Now, that being said, my number 5 is Perc Angle. Perc Angle, specifically, obviously. Now, I'm talking from, anything from when, let's be honest here, anything from when the crowd started chanting, "You suck," all the way up until Cena comes out. I think he was just an absolute machine, absolute weapon, unbelievable in the ring. Everyone knows that. And just easy to hate.
Fair play. And I realise this is not without controversy because, as I said, Perc Angle was in my top 10 all time. It's not cracked my top 5 heels. Ooh. How's that possible? I'm not really sure, but there are a couple more heels that I just felt needed to be in there in front of him. Speaking of which, at number 4, again, it's a bit of a shocker, but EK, you just made the list. I have put a combination of not just Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens together.
Okay.
I wanted someone in there from a comedy heel perspective, and I think it was very unique in that heels have usually just been hated, but not necessarily had that comedic element to them. And I thought the work that they did together was just hysterical.
I don't remember them being hated very much, to be honest with me. I just remember liking them, but that might have just been me at the time.
That's the thing. I think people do forget that they were playing a heel character at the time. So, listen, I don't need to say too much about Chris Jericho, and I certainly, he was on my top 10 of all time, as was KO. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay. Well, my number 4. The rated R superstar. I could do this again. I can do it properly if you really want me to. But
let's not break people's ears.
Yeah, I think I probably won't. Edge. In case you're wondering, I just think he just was such a good heel back in the day, especially with his run with Cena. It was so easy to hate him with the whole Lita, Vicky Guerrero. I think he just reinvented himself so many times that he deserved and had to be on my top 5 because I used to absolutely bloody hate him as well.
Fair enough, and actually, I'm following in your mold there with my number 3, and I've actually got Edge and Lita, but specifically, obviously, Edge. Everything that transpired with Matt Hardy at the time, and with Lita jumping across with him, both in real life and in the ring. I think. Obviously, it was an awful situation in real life, but the way it played out in the ring, Edge was superb. The sex show, for example, is just, to this day, it's one of the most memorable segments of all time on Raw.
Probably never done again.
Exactly. Probably will never be done again. Definitely remember watching that at the time, and then my parents walking in the room, awkward, or rather my mum, rather awkward. And, it's the age-old joke about wrestling. But just the way that Edge drew heat was something stunning. I think beyond 99% of heels ever. That's why he's at my number 3 spot. There are only 2 people I could really immediately think of who played that heel position better than
number
him.
3, right?
So that's my number 3. Nice. So over to you for yours, my friend.
Okay, well, my number 3 is someone that used to scare me absolutely shitless.
Me?
No, you did, but only when you were running at me with a cricket ball.
Valid.
Kane.
Fair, I'll give you that. Big Red Machine.
Big Red Machine, Kane. He used to absolutely scare me sideways.
Pre-unmasking.
and after unmasking, when he used
to,
it was a dead eye, yeah, and also he used to light people on fire. I remember that when he lit JR on fire. Yeah. I can still hear those screams now.
Taker.
Yeah, I mean everything that he used to do. Before unmasking, after unmasking, he was just a scary, scary dude, and he used to give me nightmares. Not gonna lie to you.
I'll give you that. Not on my list, but fair play. Number 2. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to many people. I have put the big man himself in there, Hunter, Triple H. Specifically in 2002, people think I might have been about to say Evolution. I'm not. I'm going to say 2002, where he went for the suck it, and instead he pedigreed Shawn, HBK, into the mat, turned on him. It was the start of one of my all-time favourite feuds. Obviously, it ended with them coming together back again in 2006, I believe it was the reunite. It might have been 2006, maybe something a bit later.
I think it was slightly later. But
it might have been 08, to be fair. I can't quite remember. But when they reunited as DX, just absolutely unbelievable. The way that Hunter drew heat during that time was something, again, that apart from my number 1 overall choice, which we'll talk about in a minute, I think is never to be repeated.
Fair play. I mean, I'm actually following suit on that, which is incredibly controversial from my end because Triple H didn't make my top 10 because I said they didn't like the work he did. However, that was because I didn't like him because of what he was. Exactly. So when we were drawing up these lists, I thought, well, I've got to put him in because I didn't like him because of his heel work, because of how good he was as a heel. And so that's why he's in my list. But I'm actually thinking about Evolution days. For me, is when I think he was at his top heel stage. Especially when he turned on Batista. I mean, it was just gold. I remember watching that episode and just thinking, okay, you are such a bleep. I'm not going to swear. I mean, I have already, but I'm not going to again. Or at least I'll try. But yeah, that's why Triple H has to be my number 2 all-time heel.
I'll give you that. I have the thumbs down burned in my head forevermore. So, yeah, fair. Speaking of Evolution, moving on to my number 1. It's Randy Orton.
Wow, okay.
It's not Evolution Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton punting people in the head for fun.
Okay.
I was very young. Well, not very young, but I was young at the time. Yeah. I was getting into wrestling again, really. And I have to say, watching, I've never hated anyone like it. Just absolutely everyone, every week it seemed that he was punting people in the head. The commentary team around it did the most stellar job in just bigging him up and making him feel genuinely, to this day, I love Randy Orton. And I'm obviously no longer scared of him. But I still can picture him just punting people in the head. And I'm just waiting, hopefully, for next year for that feud with Cena and him punting Cena in the head to kick it all off.
Well, I thought you're a big Cena fan.
I am.
So you want your hero to be punted in the face?
No, but the thing is when Cena retires, I imagine he'll have the title for his 17th world title. And I think the way that the final feud... Because let's face it, Orton, out of the current crop of those around, Orton should be his final match. And I think, in my eyes, the perfect way to set that up is for him and Randy to be in the ring together and Randy to suddenly bring the punt back. It would be... It would be magical. Chef's kiss, bellissimo. It would be perfection.
Yep,
it would be the right way to kick off the feud that sends Cena out, that ends up with Orton winning the title. So for me... Randy, number 1.
Okay, I'm with you, and I agree. I actually agree with you picking him, and I agree that that's exactly how it should be. He's unfortunately not in my top 5 heel, but he almost made the honorary mention.
Valid.
Very, very much respect Randy Orton, his work as a heel. My number 1 will very much, I think, surprise a few people, and probably surprise you quite a lot. But there's a very, very key reason why he's my number 1. And that is John Bradshaw Layfield.
Oh, get out of here. Horrible human being. Disgusting man.
Well,
vile.
He played it well.
Not even talking about his wrestling career, just a vile human being.
He's there as my number 1 because I couldn't think of anyone more other than two people that we unfortunately cannot mention or shouldn't mention.
Vince.
Yes, that's one. I couldn't think of... There you go. I couldn't think of anyone more that I hated more back in the day when I was watching wrestling than watching JBL, because of how much he played it so well. Mainly because he was playing himself, realistically. But
fair.
He just played that role so well that, in my opinion, he's the top heel of all time.
Fair
play.
There
you go.
Fair play. And I think we're probably going to, as I say, these are just mini episode.
Yeah, so there you have it.
There you have it. Sort of mine and EK's top 5 heels all time.
The only two opinions that count.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we're thinking next episode, mini episode, we'll be back with some bad blood predictions between the pair of us. Again, for a little mini episode, keep it in tune with what's going on. Let us know how you feel. Like the podcast, let us know, get in touch. We've obviously got the email address, which you can find, which is WWERAW, but WOWRES. Sort of, we're skipping the second W there.
There's an easier way of saying that. Just say WOWrestling24@gmail.com.
There you go. There you have it. And then we're also on Twitter now, and we're also on Instagram.
Isn't that called X now? How old are we? Are we calling it Twitter?
I know. It is called X. We'll find a way to link it as well. Give us a shout. Let us know what you're thinking. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Farewell.
Peace.